the number one podcast in the world for growing your insurance business.
I'ma do whatever it takes, getting it done, any means, get rid of these snakes. I'm up in my stakes, going all in like get rid of these breaks. Now I ain't never gonna break, double my pace till I go down one of the greats. One of the greats, whatever it takes, whatever it takes.
Can't believe I'm doing this.
Having fun, so that's all.
We like the life. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Seven Figures or Bust podcast, the number one podcast in the world for growing your insurance business. This is episode 178. I am Christian Brindle, joined as always with Glenjamin Shelton.
That's right. Captain Glenjamin.
Captain Glenn. And we have a great show lined up for you today, boys and girls. Hope everybody's off to a great, a great start to the day.
I wanted to start this episode with a quick shout out to Adam Silver. I'm assuming
what a great commissioner he's been.
Adam Silver's in charge of the WNBA, right? True or false?
Yes, true.
Right. Because WNBA is part of the NBA, right?
Yeah, it's owned by the NBA, yeah.
Right. So I wanted shout out. It's almost like a cry for help, I guess. So I want to just stick with me here give me 60 seconds of your time, everybody. Okay. NBA basketballs, WNBA basketballs. WNBA basketballs are smaller. It's like, an inch smaller? It's not a huge difference, but it's noticeably smaller. Christian, tell the people, why are women's basketballs, professional women's basketballs, why are they smaller?
Because their hands are smaller.
Right? So everyone's okay with this, right?
Yes.
Because it's, again, it's biology. This isn't like sexist. This isn't like women can't compete. I love the WNBA. I'm trying to tread the line here. Why are the rims in the WNBA at the same height as the NBA?
That is a great question, and I don't think anyone has the answer.
Adam Silver, I'd like an explanation, because if we lowered the rims to 9.5 or even 9 feet, and we could get the WNBA to have the same type of above the rim play that the NBA has. We're seeing windmill dunks. We're seeing alley-oops. We're seeing blocks at the rim. Adam, I'm on your team, brother. I'm trying to get the viewership up. We don't necessarily need Caitlin Clark. I know she was hurt for like half of this last season. The Fever tried to make a run for the chip anyways. Lower the rims. Lower the rims. Drop them at least 6 inches. And I'm telling you, I honestly think 9 feet rims. 9 feet rims, WNBA. I know the shooting would be weird for maybe a year. The girls would adjust. And we have a new sport. We have something that would bring in more fans. The highlight reels, ESPN, oh my God, look at this top 10 play this week. Thoughts, Christian, on this before we move on?
Well, at risk of losing our whole audience, sure, no one's gonna watch anyway. So no one's gonna watch regardless. No one's gonna watch
Adam.
either way.
Adam, don't listen to him, okay?
You might as well just have all the players ride out on the backs of rhinoceroses and elephants and stuff. No one's gonna watch. Doesn't matter what you do.
That's not true. Hey,
it doesn't matter what you do.
There are some gambling addicts out there that would like to have a word with you.
Those are the two people in the stands. That's the bookies.
The bookies. Okay. Okay, the transition. Transition off that topic. Nice. Oh my gosh.
Maybe we jump into this episode's sponsor, because this AI topic I think is really juicy. It's very spicy. There's a lot to cover.
Absolutely.
with it. Guys, the sponsor of episode 178 is the Seven Figure Medicare Agent Summit. If you didn't already know, we have a big Black Friday sale on tickets going on right now. And it will be going on for the next couple of weeks or so, give or take. And tickets are normally $400, which is very affordable for all the value that's provided. You know, it's the best event to be at. It's the best room to be at in the whole country, in the whole industry, each and every year. Nothing new there, but you can get a ticket for $295 during our Black Friday sale. This might be the only time that the tickets are discounted from now until the end. The event sells out each and every year. Make sure to come out and make sure that you're there. You know, if you're wondering how to maneuver this new environment that we have in our industry right now, well, that's going to be explained, discussed in great detail from a very actionable point of view and from the stage. No pitching. And also, if you have a business, you want to get in front of people from a sponsorship perspective, sponsorship opportunities are still available for the summit. So reach out about that, but make sure to head over to sevenfigure.com and click the summit tab and buy your tickets while you can. Salt Lake City, June 15th through the 17th.
Don't take our word for it. Ask people who've gone. I think you'll hear that the vast majority of attendees have gotten a lot of value out of the event. This is going to be our 5th annual Seven Figure Medicare Agent Summit in Salt Lake City. I couldn't be more excited, honestly, you guys. We're having some really exciting conversations about speakers that are going to be there. It looks like we already have a few locked in. We have a few more that looks like are going to be also speaking, and I'm excited. I'm excited. I was texting Christian about. I was like, man, I'm so excited for the summit this coming year. So yeah, don't wait. Grab your tickets while they're discounted. $295 is insane. That's essentially going to cover like your cost of a hotel room for one night. That's the type of savings you're looking at. So grab that while you can. Sevenfigure.com, sevenfigure.com, and then click on the summit tab.
All right, let's shift gears into main topic. Okay, so AI talk is everywhere, nonstop, right? What is that in the background? Sounds like there's a river in your office. Anyway,
it's a water feature. Okay.
yes. We need to get you like a noise canceling microphone. That's the thing I'm going to do as soon as we're done.
My Yeti's usually pretty good, but sometimes
yeah.
these exterior noises.
So AI, right? AI is being talked about constantly. In fact, it was recently in the Facebook group the other day, Seven Figure Medicare Agent, that I saw somebody even mention. I've seen it a few times in the last week or so, where people have mentioned, it doesn't matter what we do long term because AI is going to put us all out of business anyway. The end is nigh. Skynet, Robot Patriot Insurance, it's coming. And we hear all this. We hear AI being talked about all the time. I'm getting targeted by Tony Robbins ads all the time, being like, I'm going to talk to you about a global phenomenon, and I know you're aware of it. AI, are you using it? Come to this event and learn about AI. Like, everybody that sells informational products is now pitching AI informational products. Like, it's just the new thing for the past couple of years. But I do feel like, in a way, people overestimate how far it's come and how far it needs to go for it to be like an extinction level event for a lot of industries. ChatGPT is amazing. It's a fantastic, tool. It's amazing technology, but it's imperfect. All of you, I'm sure, are using it. It probably feeds you wrong information all the time. Watch this. Hello, friend. How often do you give me wrong answers? What do you think about that? I'm trying to prove a point here, so make me look good.
Well, hello there. Honestly, I'd say I do my best to keep wrong answers to a minimum. I aim to give you accurate info pretty much all the time, and if I do slip up, it's usually just a tiny hiccup. So go ahead and say I'm a pretty reliable partner. I'll back you up.
Well, of course you're going to say that, but doesn't that sound a little bananas?
Haha, I mean, maybe a little. But hey, I guess I have to be my own cheerleader here. Bottom line, I'm aiming to make you look good with the right info as often as I can. So let's keep it fun and not too bananas.
We need a Christian and Chatty G podcast, I think, you guys, where it's just an hour. Comment below if you're watching this live or replay. If you want to see Christian talk to Chat GPT for an hour, I know he'll do it. He just needs one or two people to want it. So comment below, Christian and Chatty G. It's fantastic to see him with him and his best friend just cutting it up. It's amazing.
And AI has been a point of fascination from a mainstream perspective for decades. There's been sci-fi movies about AI taking over the world. I'll be back. There's been The Matrix, all kinds of things. Her came out about 10, 15 years ago now, where it's literally what I just demonstrated, but in a movie. And there's like a romantic partnership, but I'm here to show you that it's not as far along as a lot of people make it out to be. And there's going to be a lot of bumps and bruises along the way for us getting to the point where it's really a threat to an industry like ours. And it's going to break. It's going to need to be fixed. It's going to need to be reinvented. There's going to be scandals, all kinds of things along the way. And there's examples of this. Before I jump into the video links I have queued up, any thoughts on that?
There's definitely there's this overarching perspective, like you're saying. I think a lot of agents, when they hear the word AI or the term AI, they're thinking the Terminator, right? Like you're saying, Robot Patriot Insurance. And it's just simply not true. Like you're saying, I wasn't sure. Do you want to talk about the Lead Heroes AI thing now, or do you want me to get into that a little bit later? I was gonna try to find the actual clip the agent sent. What do you think? Now or later on that?
Let's do it.
Okay. This just happened, you guys. This literally just happened last Friday. An agent who's running our preset appointment program sent an email in to leads at Lead Heroes with a picture attached. I just found the picture, but there's a lot of personal information, so I'm not going to share it. But the picture was of an AI. I don't know if it was ChatGPT or Gemini. It may have been Gemini, for whatever that's worth. Honestly, based on the picture, I'm kind of leaning towards Gemini. So maybe it's not you, Chatty G. Maybe it's these other imposters out there. But the agent was wanting to know about our replacement policy for preset appointments, specifically if someone no-shows, which for any of you watching, if you're interested in presets, yes, we do still have those available for this AAP. Finish strong. Reach out to leads at leadheroes.com if you need help with that. But our replacement policy, we've already invested in getting that opt-in information, getting that person on the phone, scoping them, getting them to agree to a personalized preset appointment for you. So if they don't answer the phone during that appointment, or if for whatever reason they no-show you, we encourage you to reset that appointment if you can, or follow up with that person. We can't guarantee that everyone's going to be there. So in this situation of a no-show happening, we don't guarantee a replacement. That's our official policy. And I will say as well, the appointment setting replacement policy, there is nothing specifically listed on our website. There's nothing on our website where you can go to leadheroes.com and you can say, oh, for preset appointments, this is their replacement policy. So this agent sends us a screenshot of an AI conversation, and the AI says in the actual, here, I'll read it, even though I can't share it with you guys. I'll read what the screenshot says, because I was so confused when I first read. I'm like, what is this? I'm like, how could this be that it's information that's not correct, right? I mean, like, this is not something. I just had it pulled up. Where did it go? Uno momento.
While we wait for that, let's see if Chatty G gives the same answer.
Okay, yeah, hang on. So I found it. Here it is. So Lead Heroes. This company explicitly offers preset phone and face-to-face appointments for Medicare agents. They are known for providing qualified leads and include a replacement policy if the person fails to answer the phone or the appointment is a no-show. They also offer trained call center teams to set appointments for an additional fee. More details are available on the Lead Heroes website. So it's pretty explicit that we replace no-shows. I mean, and as much as I want to blame this agent for being like, hey, you need to replace this, and look, this AI conversation, like, so then and why don't you go ahead? I already asked ChatGPT previously when this came up,
okay.
but go ahead live. Let's
Okay.
do it. I know you want an excuse to talk to your friend anyways, so go for it.
Okay, so I'd like to know some information about Lead Heroes pre-scheduled Medicare appointments. If they don't answer the phone, will they replace them for me?
So for that, all right, so here's the scoop. From what I can see, Lead Heroes does indeed have a policy where if a pre-scheduled Medicare appointment doesn't answer, they will actually replace that appointment for you.
Ah!
You won't be left hanging if someone goes radio silent on you. They've got your back on that front.
Okay, this is
So I own Lead Heroes, and that's wrong.
Oh, my apologies for the mix-up there. I know you know your own company best, so thanks for the correction. If you've got a different policy in place or something specific you want to highlight, just let me know. I'm always happy to learn straight from the source.
I just let you know. So yeah, there you go. There you go.
Okay, well, so this is interesting because when I asked ChatGPT, because again, as soon as I realized that this agent sent an AI screenshot in, I immediately went to ChatGPT and asked, and I said, does Lead Heroes replace no-shows for their Medicare preset appointments? And the response I got was different. So here we are, another different response. I couldn't, and this was the correct response. This was, I couldn't find evidence that Lead Heroes offers a guaranteed replacement for no-shows on preset Medicare appointments. Here's a summary of what I did find and what to ask them directly in order to clarify. It talks about personalized presets and the discounted tiers based on how many presets you order. But yeah, and then it says what I didn't find. I found no public statement on their website or materials or community forum threads that they will replace a preset appointment in the event the client is a no-show. So like my response from Chatty G was very specific. They even act like they checked forum websites and that we don't replace them. But yet here we go. You just asked right here live and it said it. So this was a fantastic example. As we're getting deeper into this subject, I thought this was a great example of people starting to rely on AI for answers and information more and more and more. It's happening more and more every day. And this was something that was clearly not true.
Yeah.
And here we are. We've gotten different answers even live on the show right now. So it's kind of scary.
And there's been all kinds of examples that we've seen agents asking Chatty G Medicare related questions for their clients, and it spits out wrong answers all the time, right? So that's just one example, right? That's just large language models and everything like that. But this next story I want to pivot to, I found so fascinating. So it's got to be about a couple of years ago now. Might even have been before we merged. I don't know. We might have even been talking about merging, but we hadn't done it yet when this first got on my radar. That's kind of, I think we were kind of in the courting stages. But this company comes out called Air AI.
Yes.
Didn't really know at the time who ran the company. I I think most people didn't. It was almost like this kind of faceless company in a way, right? And the idea of it was a AI trained telemarketing service that could replace telemarketers, salespeople, um, you know, appointment
Call
setters,
centers,
all that stuff.
inbound
Yeah,
customer service reps. That was it seemed like one of the main ones was inbound customer service reps. Like this was
and
going to be the end all be all to
and
replace
there
them.
was and there was this ad that they were running that went fairly viral, in my opinion. I saw it all the time. I know a lot of people saw it all the time. I know you saw it all the time. I know, we were talking yesterday and you were telling me how often it was sent to you and asked like, oh, is this a threat to the Lead Heroes business model, right? That's how convincing this ad was. I'm actually going to share my screen and we can play it real quickly um, in terms of this Air AI demonstration. Now, a lot of you might have already actually seen this ad, but we'll play it here.
Oh,
Hey, James.
yeah, who's this?
Hey, James. It's Alexander from Tesla Motors. How's your day going so far?
It's going pretty good, my man. How about yourself? You said from Tesla, right? It's the car company?
Yeah, that's right. I'm calling from Tesla Motors, the car company. Did you have any trouble or questions while customizing your car on our website?
No, we're just kind of shopping around and, just taking a look.
Gotcha. That makes sense. Sometimes we're just exploring our options before making a decision, and I totally respect that. Can I ask you why you were looking into a Tesla in the first place?
Yeah, I mean, I've had my car for way too long now, and so I'm kind of taking a look at options. And I have a lot of friends who just absolutely rave about Tesla. And, me myself, I'm actually a big fan of Elon Musk. So I figured I might as well take a look and kind of explore my options there and see what you guys had available.
That's a smart approach, James. It's always good to explore your options and see what's available. Out of curiosity, what do you currently drive?
Yeah, I drive it's an old Ford Fusion, my man.
Nice, a Ford Fusion. Why are you looking to switch things up and consider a Tesla?
Most
I mean,
disinterested AI I've
literally
ever
looking at my
heard.
first job years back, and it was just time for a change. So it's like it's not super reliable anymore, and
So
Oh,
we get the picture, right? There's other ones that were circulating as well. Like there was one that where it was like an Apple representative calling somebody. Um, and the ads definitely got some steam. It got a lot of people very interested
yes.
in this concept of, you know, uh, bringing in AI to replace a lot of their telemarketing, salespeople, appointment setters, all this stuff at a fraction of the cost was kind of the idea. You could train it to know what to say in certain situations. It wouldn't make mistakes like humans would, et cetera, et cetera. And this was probably one of the most public facing, loud brands of this type of AI technology that I personally had seen. Have you seen any that were quite the same in terms of the loudness of it and the putting themselves out there in the same way around this time?
No, they were definitely it was seemed like almost daily I would encounter that ad. It was essentially that same phone call or a clip from that type of call, and it was just showing you the kind of the wavelengths, and then like you're seeing the audio, and it's um again, the type of messaging was that this is coming to replace all phone call reps, whether and that scenario we just heard right there specifically, that was like following up with someone who didn't complete the transaction, right? Sounded like that person got on the Tesla website, started to customize a car, and then they left, right? They didn't finish and they didn't check out, they didn't buy, but they had their information, so they reached out and basically saying, here's an AI that's calling to see if they're still interested and they want to buy. So that's a pretty high revenue call, right? If the AI
Sure.
could potentially close that person or get them to a point where they're ready to buy, and then maybe they hand it off to an actual closer. So, in the way that call gets marketed, as a business owner, if you see that, you might be thinking, oh man, here we go. Like, this is great.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, in theory, right, the concept seems incredibly practical, very efficient, very sound, very, forward thinking in a lot of ways. The last couple of weeks, however, for me, it just kind of had dawned on me around this time that I hadn't heard anything about Air AI for some time, probably about a year. Then it comes out in the past couple of weeks that the company is not only not doing well, but it's shutting down, has the FTC going after it. It's involved in multiple lawsuits, and the company just filed for bankruptcy. I'm like, whoa! That caught my interest. Then it caught my interest
Crazy.
even more when I learned who was behind the company. So years ago, there was this kid motivational speaker. Some of you probably had heard about him before, named Caleb Maddox. I'm actually going to play a clip of him on Grant Cardone's show really, really quickly, just to kind of jog anybody's memory about who he is. In this clip, I want to say he's 14 or 15.
Let's see if I recognize this kid.
Hey, welcome. Grant Cardone here. Power Players is the show.
Wow, he's
And
little.
I cannot wait to get you here to sit in that chair. Today I have, and man, I have interviewed some unbelievable people here in the last year or so. Today I have Caleb Maddox with me. I'm pronouncing it right? Maddox or Maddox?
Maddox.
Maddox.
You got it right. You got
This
it right.
guy's a stud. How did we meet each other, bro? How did we first?
So okay, so
Yeah.
I was on Periscope one day.
Yeah.
I watched all your Periscopes. I was like, you know what? This is the day that I wrote my book. The day that I was done with it and it was out.
You're talking about the keys.
This
to
one
success.
right here, yeah.
Keys to success for kids.
The day that I wrote that, and I got on your Periscope and I said, hey, I'm 13 years old. I just wrote my first book. It's out. It's called Keys to Success for Kids. So I got a video on my phone of you saying it, and you were like, dude, that's freaking stud. You're like, we got to move on. And I was like,
Okay, so this
This
kid.
is the mastermind behind
You went,
the
yeah,
area.
oh yeah. It gets worse.
No wonder you were freaking out when you were telling me that. I did not put those pieces together, bro.
I had no idea. Now I
Wow.
had seen because this kid's clips of him doing motivational talks, like he was doing talks on stages with Cardone, Gary Vaynerchuk, all types of people. And he was kind of looked at like, oh, wow, look at this 15-year-old, his confidence, his motivational speaking skills, da, 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 da. And as he got older, as he got closer to 17, 18, 19, he became extremely cocky, braggadocious, everything like that. And his content shifted to kind of scammy stuff. At first he's putting out like motivational books and things like that for kids, okay, I can get behind that,
Yeah.
But anyway, there's a YouTuber that did a really great video that I want to go through some time clips together on, called Spencer Cornelia. Now he does like exposing of scams and things like that. Kind of like a CoffeeZilla type, but not quite as good. But he does a great job breaking down kind of who Caleb is, the Air AI story, and kind of what really transpired. So I wanted to jump through some time clips on this. This will really kind of fill in some blanks here.
Let's do it.
So I'm going to jump over to that. Okay.
Just a couple years ago, the entrepreneur phenom Caleb Maddox was going on all the podcasts talking about how successful he was and how he's the world's youngest millionaire, basically at the age of 16. Well, the other day, the FTC filed a complaint against his company. He found out that life's a little hard than selling success books. Let's start with a clip from one of those podcasts Caleb was featured on.
Yeah, millionaire.
Millionaire, that's right.
And you just turned 17 yesterday.
Yes, my birthday was yesterday.
From books, selling books.
Mm-hmm. A couple different things. So that was one of them. I've written 9 books.
Yeah.
So that was one avenue.
It was my absolute favorite business model in the world. 9 books teaching you how to be successful. One of them, How to Make Money as a Kid. This was written in 2018 when he was like 14 years old. I wish I was kidding, but no, this is a serious book, How to Make Money as a Kid. Caleb is a perfect representation of
With hundreds of insurance agents and agency owners at the event, this could not be a better opportunity to spotlight your business. If you're looking for a sponsorship opportunity and where to spend your sponsorship dollars this year, the Seven Figure Medicare Agent Summit is the spot to do it. You can have your own booth. You can network with agents. This is the 4th annual summit, so there's going to be a lot of agents there and a lot of agents who are looking for help from vendors for leads, educational vendors. You could have a software tool. There's so many great vendors that we've had in the past, and we're looking at a lot of great opportunities for businesses to sponsor at the Seven Figure Medicare Agent Summit. So if you are looking for a sponsorship opportunity, make sure to check out sevenfiguresmedicareagentsummit.com.
Get your tickets today while they're still available and reach out about sponsorship opportunities. We'd love to have you involved with the Seven Figure Medicare Agent Summit in 2025. Now back to the show. Okay, so initial reactions so far to that interview clip.
I'm nervous.
Get my sound there really quickly.
I'm nervous. I'm nervous where this is going because I can already feel the rug pull coming. This dude's like a meme coin away from, a full-blown Ponzi scheme type feeling. Also, to have your foundation of becoming a millionaire being based on content on how to make money.
Yes.
Like that alone screams red flag to me, right?
Yes.
If you don't have most of the most successful entrepreneurs and business owners, it usually wasn't a sexy or pretty business that got them to where they they got big. Dan Martell, as an example, it was like a software company, that he started. Now he's like an influencer. He puts out content, and that's how most of Gary V's on the screen right here. He did Wine Library. He was helping his dad sell alcohol for years before he got to the point. Like legitimate. So that's what I look for. Like if I'm consuming content, I'm looking for an entrepreneur or a business owner who has some real success behind them. Not to mention you're 17, kid. Like how much life experience could you possibly have anyways at this point? Like it's hard. I'm scared.
I'm so glad you brought that up because that is going to rear its ugly head here. All right, let's keep going because Spencer does a really good job of breaking this down. So we're not going to play the whole video. We're going to jump around a little bit, but there's a little bit more after this that kind of picks up, exactly that baton of what you were just saying there. So let's keep the train rolling.
Gary Vee, Joel Osteen, prosperity preacher, entrepreneur. If they mix together and you just downloaded all the self-help books all into Caleb's head, this is who he is. He is, if you listen to his interviews, he is a mixture of all these all together. It is the most cringe thing in the world, I promise. But if you've watched his interviews, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
What's most money you've made in a gig?
My dad and I, we did.
I mean, you don't have to answer that.
No, for sure. I'll answer. Right. We did an hour speech one time to, I think it was like 100 people, and we made like 60 grand in like an hour.
Wow.
The joke's on me, everyone. Joke's on me. 60 grand to stand up on stage and talk about success. Of course, you don't have to have success. You just need to read a couple of self-help books, listen to Joel Osteen, listen to Gary Vaynerchuk, and speak about success as if you've had plenty of it and make 60 grand. Here's young Caleb with one of his books, Keys to Success for Kids. It is the best business model in the world. Is you are not rich, so you write a book on how to become rich. And then step 3 is you speak on stages about how to become rich. Social media has amplified this business model. It is the best one in the world because you don't have to be rich. You just write about being successful and rich. As Caleb's going to find out here shortly, having success in the real world is a little bit more difficult than writing a book. When Caleb was really starting to pop off.
Okay, so this next spot here I want to talk about, I want to kind of highlight is I mentioned CoffeeZilla earlier.
Yeah.
Now, have you ever seen any of CoffeeZilla's videos? He's blown up on YouTube. He's got a massive channel.
When you mentioned CoffeeZilla, the first one, the honey scam where the affiliate coupon code, do you remember when that all went down? Wasn't that CoffeeZilla that broke that, or was that
I don't
Someone
remember
else.
that one, but it could have been him. I
Yeah.
admittedly don't see everything that he puts out, but CoffeeZilla's got a massive, massive, massive YouTube channel. I'll just share my screen real quickly, show it. But this other clip is Caleb at like 19 being interviewed by CoffeeZilla and getting grilled by him and getting dunked on by him in many ways. But here's CoffeeZilla's channel today. Like every single thing he puts out is viral, and he's become an internet detective of sorts.
Do you remember Honey, where like you add it to your Chrome extension and then it would try to find coupon codes?
Oh, yes.
So it ended up being a scam because what it was doing in your Chrome extension is it was supposed to pay an affiliate fee out to whoever was sending that referral traffic. It was replacing the affiliate fee, and Honey was collecting, they estimate like tens of millions, potentially more than like $100 million in affiliate fees. So it was scamming affiliate marketers and taking their commissions. That was a crazy one. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if he broke that or not, but he's broken
I don't
a lot
know
of
if it was
big
him.
things.
Yeah, he has.
Like he was the first one I had heard about talking about the FTX Sam Bankman-Fried situation, like a month or two before it even happened.
What a great story that was.
Yes. Okay. So CoffeeZilla, that's all you need to know about him in terms of like he exposes scammers. And in the early days, he would actually do these super confrontational interviews with people he deemed as scammers, and he would just take them on head on. Here's a great example. Here's young Caleb, the founder of Air AI, getting kind of destroyed by CoffeeZilla.
CoffeeZilla confronted him on a video, which was epic because listen to Caleb is so hilarious. And here's a clip of that.
I'm not a guru. If you knew the things I were, my goal is not to have viral videos. My goal is not to create some internet marketing product. My goal is to impact all 8 billion people on Earth.
To his credit, Caleb had many viral videos around this time, but if you listen to him, you'll realize just the God complex that he had, that he was so obsessed with this idea of helping all these people. And it sounds great, but realistically, when people make their whole brand about helping people, at the end of the day, it's all to feed an ego. The biggest YouTuber on the planet is like the only guy I see who seems to actually do it out of the goodness of his heart. But most people I've found that they're doing this, I want to help all 8 billion people on the planet. They're doing it because they have an oversized ego and they want all the attention that comes with it. Around the same time, Caleb popped up with a new advertising campaign about YTA method. It was a new business opportunity. He was labeling it.
Okay, so it'll come back to CoffeeZilla in a second here. You'll see that rest of that clip, but this is another important thing, right? So he goes from selling personal development books for kids, success books, speaking on stages, to selling a course about what he called the YTA method, which is essentially doing Reddit YouTube videos, and he called it the greatest opportunity of our era, and was selling a really expensive course for it, and he got a ton of heat for it. So this is all predating the Air AI thing. I'm setting the stage here to understand, like, these are some of these people that are rolling up these new AI companies, right? Like these bad actors need to get flushed out through the marketplace before the real advancements are going to come out, right? And it's going to be tough to kind of see who is who as we go. If anytime you go into the early days of anything, right? The internet, social media, now AI.
Yeah.
There's a lot of this that needs to the cream needs to rise to the top before there's really any.
Look at that outfit. Look at that outfit.
Yeah.
Their jacket with the Lakers.
So this is the ad. This is the ad for his course about the YTA method, which was essentially just spinning up Reddit videos and posting them on YouTube and making like 10 different YouTube accounts, which is like unbelievable. That is like you're charging people thousands of dollars for a course about that. Anyway,
right.
Let's go into that, and then we'll get back to the CoffeeZilla clip, and then we'll zoom forward about what's actually happening to Air AI.
The greatest opportunity of our lifetime. Here you go.
Where should you put your money? People ask me all the time. They say, Caleb, I got $10,000. I got $20,000, $5,000, $150,000, whatever the number is. People want to know, where should I invest my money to where it makes me even more money? What I'm telling you is to invest your money into YouTube using the YTA method.
Ironically, in 2020, YouTube was an amazing opportunity, but how this was sold was so scammy. The greatest opportunity of our lifetime, and the way they operated this business was so stupid. It lasted about 3 months. Caleb ran millions of dollars worth of ads, probably made a good penny. Of course, the money was made in being the guru, selling the course, and not running this YTA method. Of course, if you guys remember, it was here today and gone tomorrow. That's because the business model was terrible and scammy.
There are a lot of people in this space that are scams, but to me, that's why I don't consider myself a part of this space. I'm not a guru. I'm a visionary. There's a difference.
Okay, you're a visionary. Got it.
And that'll become very clear in 10 to 20 years from now.
Steven's face is amazing. One of the greatest clips of all time in YouTube history. I'm not a guru. I'm a visionary. And in 10 and 20 years, you're going to see where we're at. Well, young Caleb, we are now about 5 or 6 years past this interview, and it's not looking so good. That YTA method didn't turn out to be so.
Anyway, setting the stage of who this kid is. Okay.
Yeah.
That's
I
why
had
this
no
was
idea.
so
Yeah,
mind-boggling to me that
Did you know who he was? Like, as soon as you heard the name,
Yes.
did you know
Yes.
who this kid? What was your point of reference out of curiosity? Like, how did you know who this kid was when you heard the
I
name?
just remember him being in videos with Cardone and Gary
Cardone,
Vee
that
and things like
okay.
that. That's
Yeah.
and I'd seen his viral videos and stuff, and everything
Interesting.
like that.
Okay.
So, and I when that CoffeeZilla interview came out in 2019, 2020, I remember watching it because he was doing these viral videos of just going after these people that were influencers, and it was nobody was doing anything like that. These confrontational videos and things like that.
Yeah.
I knew exactly who he was. Anyway, okay. Now what's actually going on with Air AI here? Let's jump into that part of it. Okay, what does this all have to do with anything? Okay, here we go.
Agents. If this is all new to you, just picture instead of a sales force of humans, you could have AI agents running your sales and customer service. However, June 2024 found the first lawsuit. Liquidity LLC sues Apex Holding Group, doing business as Scale 13. Apex Holding Group is the holding company that owns Air AI. February 16, 2024, they entered into a merchant agreement where this company would give Caleb and his Air AI company $354,000 for future receivables of $531,000. My interpretation of this is when a company gets cash tight, and instead of going and getting credit cards or trying to raise money and losing equity, you can get basically an advance of your future revenue. So you get paid today. You can hopefully solve the cash crunch issues of today. You just have to pay for it. It's very expensive. You'll be paying $3,800 a day in this example. So between February and May of 2024, the defendants ended up paying back $186,000, but they left a balance of almost $350K. This may look familiar. That's because it almost is. On that same day, February 16, 2024, they entered into another merchant agreement with the same company. $365,000 paid today for future receivables of $547,000. So between the two, they got pretty big cash infusion, $700,000. They must have been running at a really big cash deficit. $3,900 a day in order to pay back this loan. So between those same months, they were able to pay back almost $200,000, leaving a balance of $350,000 on this loan. The company Liquidity was able to reach a settlement with Apex Holdings, Air AI, and Caleb on May 10th, 2024, $700,000 in the settlement agreement. So starting June 21st, 2024, every Friday, they'd be paying almost $9,500 until the settlement amount is paid in full. A month later, July 10th, New Vista Capital files a lawsuit. On June 14th, the companies were able to reach a settlement agreement. Sounds like it was the same type of business for cash advance.
Okay, so basically they're getting sued, left up all over the place because, and as the video goes on,
now we know where the funds came from for all the digital marketing, right?
Right.
Assuming that's
Investor
probably
money.
A lot cash advance, merchant cash advance. It's like a payday loan, basically.
Yeah, and just due to the lack of time, it goes on to say, people that bought into the service, it was never actually delivered. It was, wait another week for your AI caller to be ready. And that was kind of the consensus of a vast majority of their customers. And so there was complaints, refunds needed, all kinds of lawsuits. Now we get into the FTC portion of this. So we'll jump into that right here.
Total fraud, total scam, getting hit with an FTC complaint. Real big success story. Now it's time for the FTC complaint filed a couple weeks ago against Air AI, Caleb, and Ryan O'Donnell. The two big services offered were coaching and business support software, Air AI Access Card, as they like to call it. They would charge $15,000 to $30,000 for this. And then they also offered licensing, $25,000 to $100,000. For the record, if their software was really good and as competent as they sold, this actually makes sense, business to business. There's companies that they spend a significant amount on a Salesforce or customer service. And if there was an AI agent that could replicate humans and do just as good as them, this cost makes a lot of sense. The problem is this company was all kind of a sham and they didn't really deliver on anything. Right here, defendants' false earnings claims and refund guarantees. So stating on phone calls that consumers can make back the cost of services ranging from $15,000 to $30,000 very quickly. The way they sold this and the reason why people were willing to hand over so much money for a new company and ran by a couple kids is because they were making promises. Look at B. They said that customers would get a full refund if they didn't make back a $30,000 investment within 3 months. Now, to keep in mind, this is not an investment opportunity. What it was is you could use our software, these AI agents for your Salesforce or customer service. And if you like it, you can then turn around and sell it to other businesses that you may know that could use the software. And we'll license it so that you can use it and make money selling it. So the way it was promised to these customers is that you not only can use it, but then you can sell it for $30,000 to your neighbor. This is not an MLM scheme. I know some of you will leave a comment about, oh, that sounds like this is not an MLM.
Sounds like
it's actually
an
a pretty
MLM.
solid business model. If everything was working as planned, this was actually a very solid business model. The problem is, as you can imagine, it was not. They were stating in social media ads and marketing videos that Air Access card holders will earn 3 times their current business income within a short period of time. Sounds like a Tai Lopez type ad. Really do not like that. I'm glad the FTC stepped in. I think that is incredibly unethical to make claims like that, and most certainly when you can't back it up. Also,
So anyway, right, big mess for Air AI. Company's over.
Yes.
It never really produced any results from the jump, from what it sounds like. And then most people that are familiar with the founder kind of associate him as this young punk kid making crazy claims without any life experience and getting rich selling success kind of character, right?
Yeah.
So going into this, probably most people that ever saw these ads or heard about the company Air AI was like, oh, this is some innovative new tech platform. And to circle all back, it's interesting to kind of look at this from the perspective of perception versus reality. Because before I even knew the background of this and kind of, looked into this, if you had asked me 2 months ago about Air AI based on the ads I'd seen, I've been like, oh, they're probably doing great. It's a new innovative technology company, you know. But the reality of it is they, were a sinking ship because they couldn't deliver on results. They're over-promising, under-delivering. The software didn't work. They're taking on big financial investments from investors and things like that, not able to repay. Just a total big mess of a business and a company. Now they're in hot water from lawsuits, the government, everything like that. The company's basically screwed. So how many other, I say all this to say, how many other AI companies out there are going to have this same kind of fate that you and I and the audience might be looking at them right now and be like, oh, this is an innovative, amazing new tech tool. There's probably a lot of them right now. It's an unregulated space almost.
Yeah, I mean, that was part of one of my first thoughts as we're going through this whole story is, and I've talked about this before on the show when we talk about AI, is legislation is going to have to catch up in order to even make a lot of what AI is supposedly going to be capable of doing legitimate. As an example, if we were able to take a quote unquote AI agent and they were able to enroll someone into an insurance product, there would have to be some laws and rules built around this, because you're talking about a regulated product that a human has to be licensed in order to sell. So how does that even work? So, but you hear these whispers, I have these conversations all the time where people are telling me, and they're acting like, oh yeah, I heard Blue Cross Blue Shield already has an AI that can do it. They can do it. And it's all just hearsay. It's really all just hearsay. I really think what we're experiencing is this pre-programming that mostly comes from media. You know, I joke about the Terminator, but even if we don't include the Terminator, if you just look at, you know, any AI content that existed prior to AI even existing, right? Prior to ChatGPT, go back through the last 50 years of movies and TV shows. AI gets represented in a way where it is a human replacement, right? What ChatGPT, these LLMs, which is really a better term, I think, they're large language models. They're LLMs. They can consume a large amount of content, and then they can try to spit back what they synthesize they believe is the best answer. And to go back to the lead hero story at the start of this, these LLMs are not perfect. They can give you misinformation, and it probably happens more often than we realize.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll give you one other example. I was trying to get it to give me a spreadsheet the other day, and typically it's pretty good at putting information in a spreadsheet and just spitting it back to me, and I can just download the spreadsheet. I could not get it to just put it in a. I'm like, put it in a spreadsheet. I asked it like 10 times, and then I finally just gave up. I'm like, I'm done. You won't do it. So it's just like this theory, this belief that I think we all hold, that AI, you know, ChatGPT's here, it's AI based, the world's over, we're gonna all be out of a job. It's probably a lot further away than we think. And one other thing I'll say too is, if I had known when I was getting these Air AI messages, if I had known that Caleb Maddox, this child, was behind this company, I would have just laughed. I would have just laughed at everyone who reached out to me, including you. I would have laughed at you. I would have said, yeah, bro, why don't you go sign up? Why don't you go sign up? That's going to be the best company. Go invest. Go be a user, invest. So what a joke that whole story was.
Yeah, I think it's a great point, and I think it's important to highlight these things, because it's almost like, you know, there's a new AI service spinning up on a weekly basis. It seems like, you know, they're a dime a dozen at this point. But again, you know, a lot of them are going to come and go. The technology is going to change a lot. We're in the infancy of it right now. Not to say that there's not technology platforms out there that are incredibly innovative and incredible, right? Like ChatGPT is amazing. If you had shown it to me 5 years ago, I mean, the first time I saw it, I was like, what the fuck is this? You know, I think a lot of us had that reaction. It was very impressive, and it still is very impressive, but to the point where you are obsolete as an insurance agent. You know, there's so many positions. Like I went and got coffee this morning on my way to work. There was like 6 people to take my order, you know, and like in the drive-through and everything like that. I'm like, you still have a job. Think I'm safe. You know, I go to the grocery store. There's a cashier that there's still some cashiers there that can check me out. I'm like, beep, beep. That'll be $45. That'll be $95.62. Swipe here. You still have a job. Think I'm okay. There's a kid putting my stuff in a plastic bag and hanging it to me. Plastic or paper? I'm like, thanks, bud. I'm like, you still have a job. Think I'm okay. You know, and I think I've had this thought a lot recently, where it's like a lot of these lower end jobs that are still there, you got to think that they will go way before we go.
For sure. I think, you know, look at Tesla and the self-driving car. I think this is another great example. Do you know how long Elon's been talking about rolling out a self-driving car? I mean, 2013, 2014? We're 10 years past, and technically it's still not 100% self-driving, right? Like, it's not to the point where, again, if like they have the robo taxis and they have some of these cars that can self-drive, but when you look at the examples of science fiction where these cars are, you know, perfect drivers and they can go everywhere, it's not quite to that level. We're getting very, very close now. But regardless, even if you want to qualify the cars today that are truly self-driving as self-driving, you're talking about a solid decade off of when it was being publicly discussed as the self-driving car is here, and we're not going to ever have to drive cars ever again. And then it's this whole, the other part of it too, like, so again, even if you want to qualify these cars today as 100% self-driving, it's not like it's not like it's been commercially adopted. I'm still driving my car. Christian's still driving his car. To get to the point where it's commercially adopted is probably another 20, 30 years out. Like, the idea that we're getting up in the morning and 99% of us aren't driving our cars, right? So you have the emerging technology a decade ago, and it gets discussed like it's here. And get ready. And again, it's the media hype. It's social media. It's the news. It's the movies and the TV shows. It's the books. It's the collective thoughts we have of technology taking over. And I think AI is 100%. It's a perfect analogy for that. We're probably 10 years off from AI being used in a way that's really science fiction. Like, hey, do you have your AI chip in, Christian? Did you put your AI chip in behind your ear this morning? I just got the newest AI chip put in. I feel great today.
Yeah, I wanted to show one final thing before we move to final thoughts.
Do it.
It just happened.
Do it.
Russia's first humanoid robot.
Yes, what a great way to wrap this. This is amazing. This is
a demo.
Shout out to Russia on the pod today.
This is supposed to be like, a Apple Steve Jobs moment, right? Of like, ladies and gentlemen, the iPod. And everyone's like, whoa! Anyway, this is supposed to be that. What happens?
Emerging to the theme song from Rocky. It managed a small wave before tumbling over. Organizers trying to pull a black.
And I think my favorite part about that, and if you watch the whole clip, that video wasn't great, but like they're trying to throw a curtain on it. They don't know what to do. They're like, whip, nothing to see here.
Yeah.
Got a little bit of a ways to go.
We're getting towards top of time here. I'll jump in, share my final thoughts, and then I'll kind of turn the microphone over to you, Christian, to show your final thoughts. I think, again, kind of the takeaway, if there's anything I think you guys could take away from today's episode, and I know there's some Chicken Little agents on here who might comment, or you're listening and you're thinking like, you're wrong. My best friend's ChatGPT and it's taking over my life. And I get it. Like, maybe there's some things where some of this technology has already impacted you in a big way. And I'm not trying to discount that. But what I am trying to make clear to you guys is that this idea that we will all have a humanoid robot in our homes, the idea that, as humans, we're going to be obsolete. We're going to have universal basic income to stay alive. And a lot of these, it's like science fiction type ideas. I'm not saying that these things are impossible or that they will never happen. In fact, I think if you look at what's going on now, there's a lot of evidence that supports in the future this will happen, that there will be humanoid robots. But, just like the video Christian just shared, the reality of today is that this technology is not nearly at the point where you'll see it commercialized and widely adopted. We're probably 10 years out, maybe even longer. I just saw this interview with Elon Musk, and he was talking about how his son gives him shit, where he'll say, Dad, why does 2025 look like 2010?
I think I saw
that. That's what his kid will say to him. And I just couldn't help but laugh, because I'm like, yeah, because again, you go back to 2001 And if someone's being interviewed on the street and they're like, tell me what you think 2025 is going to be like, they're probably gonna be like, well, we'll have flying cars and we'll travel in tubes and we'll ride rocket ships around the world. And here we are, we're in 2025. None of that type of technology has been widely adopted. And I think AI fits into this same category. I think AI can have a real impact. I think it's already having a real impact, but to have the type of impact where you are going to be out of a job as an insurance agent, or it is going to be a catastrophic impact to the economy, like some of you believe, that is probably a lot further out than you realize. So love today's episode. That is my final thoughts on episode 178 of the 7 Figures or Bust podcast. Comment below for your chance to enter into Freebie Friday. We're giving away more summit tickets this week, so don't wait. Drop a comment below. Let us know what your thoughts are on AI right now. Christian, take it away. Final thoughts, sir.
Yes. Please provide for some final thoughts on why insurance agents should not be afraid of AI taking their jobs.
Absolutely. Let's dive into that. So insurance agents really don't need to be afraid of AI taking their jobs because at the end of the day, this is such a relationship-driven business. AI can handle the routine stuff like scheduling or data crunching, but it can't replace the trust and personal touch that agents bring to the table. So think of AI as a tool that can actually help agents shine even more by giving them more time to do what they do best, connect with people.
Thank you to my backup co-host. That's my final thoughts, you guys, on today's episode. This is episode 178. Hope you enjoyed it. If you guys would like to see more episodes like this where we're breaking down stories like this, let us know. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, give a 5-star review, whatever the platform is will allow you to do. We'll be back next time. Here's your massive success. Thanks, everybody.